Hello, beautiful beings. Want to say hi to Doozer? Agents, help me hold the phone right. Hi, bud. You're so cute. Doozer, you're just so cute. You're a good boy. Hopefully, I was holding it right the whole time. I think I was. Why? 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 I haven't asked them this yet, but why do the ancients wait until right after I take my makeup off to say, let's make a video? Okay, why is that? Why do you do that? They're like, it has nothing to do with that. That's not why. I knew that's not why. You weren't waiting until after I took my makeup off to say it, but it happens very often. Just more, just shedding more useless personal identity. The one that would actually care how other people would perceive how I look. there's no end to the depth of this freedom that we can experience in these physical forms. So I was just taking my makeup off, and all of a sudden I realized that, oh, I'm going to smudge my brain because I smudge my environment, I smudge my body. But so I stopped because I am the sage. I am the sage bundle that I light. I am that. So I pictured a sage bundle like burning inside of me, but it's me. And I just smudged my brain. And I said, all negativity must leave this place. No negativity may remain in this place. Only love, light, and peace may remain and enter. And I was just like, you hear that, you guys? Only love, light, and peace may enter. And of course, that's all that remains. So it seems there's just no end to, well, it equals freedom, but just shifts in perception along the way and just deeper insight. It's wonderful. And I have never ever thought of that before. I learned that smudging, what to say while smudging from, I had learned a lot about smudging over the years from different teachers that had come into my life. But Amy Allen from the Dead Files, she, I have learned so much from her because she sees really scary stuff. And early on in my life, I don't know where I heard it. I have no idea how I came up with it, but I started praying for useful clairvoyance. It felt like even before I knew what was happening, what clairvoyance was, I knew that I could see things, but I didn't want to see things that I couldn't do anything about. I remember begging God um, to please just don't let me see things I can't do anything about. I was already so sensitive. My whole life I've been super sensitive to what other people are feeling. So when I have had visions come in of car wrecks or whatever, uh, if I were to have that happen, I would be if I had it happen and I couldn't do anything about it, I would just be feeling like the trauma of it. There would be no resolution. Thank you, agents. So, where was that leading to? Praying for useful clairvoyance. Well, that's a useful prayer. So, Amy Allen, she thank you. She sees really scary things, and I just knew that if this prayer worked for her, and if this prayer worked for people's houses that it had inhabited these incredibly scary creatures, and she's smudging away or telling them that they need to do it and that's what they need to say. I'm like, well, that will work for me. Absolutely. Anything I'm dealing with, yeah, that prayer will work. And so now I just did it to my brain. Because for the last like half an hour or so, I've been getting a really bad headache, like all the way up the back. I know there's different kinds of headaches. So I'm just describing what's happening. And it just feels like, it doesn't feel like it's new moon or full moon pressure though. It feels different than that. I did do a lot of leaf blowing yesterday, but why would it all of a sudden hit? It feels more energetic. See, I've gotten to the place, especially just in the last 3 weeks, that I feel just, it's a new experience for me, feeling this detached from other people's emotions, people that I love, people that I'm nowhere near. I can pick up on how they're feeling, and it feels like it's how I'm feeling, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Why would I be feeling like this? I wasn't feeling like this just a little while ago, and that's what this headache feels like. And so, see, this is just part of the beauty of holding satsang, is because just talking about it, it helps me get clarity. The ancients are constantly piping in also. So that definitely helps. Okay, so I learned a new prayer lately. I'm not religious, but I think the power of prayer is just miraculous. I learned a new prayer lately about, if I feel I'm picking up on somebody else's energy, it's not return to sender. It's please bless, like, please bless this energy and alchemize it into love or presence. That's a good one. Please bless this energy and alchemize it into presence. Well, that's where it came from. For some reason, it's starting to feel like it's dissipating. So for my whole life, I've felt what other people are feeling, and it has taken a lot of work to reach this point in myself, to where I feel that beautiful, it's healthy detachment. And so I just asked them specifically why. I know that it's because I can literally feel what they're feeling, but why, if it's a part of my gift, why was it so off balance? And they're saying it's because being empathic and feeling how other people are feeling, it automatically makes me feel like I want to help. And so I have overextended myself, just automatically. And so going against that has felt incredibly unnatural. I'm learning this right now myself. It makes perfect sense. But because it's a part of my cellular makeup to want to help humanity in a very big way. And well, in the way that I get to help humanity is in the way of quitting overthinking, in a nutshell, which equals accessing our own true nature, which is presence. That's what I get to do. And so I'm doing really good not bunny trailing. It's not a bunny trail, they told me a while back. They said that because I got to stop labeling when I forget, because I forget whether I've had edibles or not. I've done that research over the last 7 years, and yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I forget. Some would call it ADHD. I don't know. I don't tend to label it as that because I'm just me. And I think that people, so yeah, I'm off on another branch, label forgetting or not being like the mainstream. They label it as something negative instead of something creative, something magical. I used to think I was autistic because I take things very, very literally. And that's a very big sign of autism, but the ancients say that I'm just awesome, not autistic. I know you get it. So, and I'm going to admit this. I have wanted to tell people that I am autistic. Then they'd go, oh, that makes sense. But I cannot do that because it's not true. And I don't need to say something that's not true to make people that don't understand me be able to put me in a box. In the, just not that that's a bad box, but just in the box in a person's head. Oh, she's autistic. That's why she's always been like she's been. But it's not true. It's because the ones of us that are here to help humanity, and this, if you are too, this will resonate with you. The ones of us that are here to help humanity in a big way, and that's even after we drop our physical forms, we're not supposed to fit in. You are not supposed to fit in. What a relief. What a relief. It's been so agonizing to try to fit in. And now, just in the last few weeks, I've got to experience an increase in the ability to not go with thoughts that I've automatically went with for so long. As long as a person practices, that's all it is. Practicing turning our attention away from thoughts. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad, and that it doesn't have to make sense to you. If that doesn't make sense to you, well, I need to know that's just more thinking. The practice is to turn my attention away from thinking. For a really long time, it was to just turn my attention away from thoughts that were making me feel bad. But now I'm onto it. It's all thoughts. I don't need to think. Let's go a little bit deeper. I just asked them if we should or not. But there is no I that doesn't need to think. And I've known this for a really long time, and it is our experience. And so what ascension is basically is coming back into focus with the fact that we are just looking out of these eyes. Not that we're trapped in this body, but we are life. We are life force shining through these eyes. We are life. So the perceived persona of Mama G it's a construct. It's right now, and it will continue to evolve. Right now, it's the best construct that I have been able to achieve of the essence. Mama G is the most accurate essence of what's coming through, the essence that's coming through this physical form. So if a person hasn't had the experience, the remembering experience yet, to where everything has fallen away and we're just in our natural state of being, no thinking at all, and knowing, oh, that's right, this is my natural state, and not even really feeling like a person anymore, but just knowing, absolutely knowing and remembering the truth. If you haven't had that experience yet, they're saying you will. But until then, how I used to, even though I had the remembering experience with Mooji, and I could turn my attention away from thoughts, I used to call it from person to presence. I used to be able to turn my attention back to presence and start learning how to starve thoughts that way. But I was so new at it. Well, I still do it though, that sometimes I will close my eyes if I've become aware that I went with thoughts. I close my eyes and I focus intensely on what I am seeing. I focus inside and I listen very intensely, even if I have my eyes open. And listening into, I always point to here because this is where I feel it in my physical form, presence. I listen because very, very early on, just months after my remembering experience with Mooji, I was in the woods and I was meditating, and all of a sudden, and I was very new to meditating, but I knew that it was something that I absolutely had to do. It basically saved my life. And of like the third time I was sitting to meditate for 8 to 10 minutes, they said, take your ears off, turn them around and put them back up, put them back on and listen. And when I put them back on, they were angled down just a little bit. And then they said, listen. And so I picture that, and it brings me right back into presence. And if it's something that's really super emotionally charged that I've been thinking about for a length of time, if I haven't caught it for several hours, then it can feel like it's very active in my body. And so it takes a while to focus on presence. Some would call it meditating. Focus on presence. And I could see the longer I meditated, not in length, but in days, time, I only meditated for about 10 minutes, maybe 8 to 10 minutes when I very first started, because it would create so much mental resistance. I kind of like put my toe in first instead of jumping off the deep end. But I was very desperate, so it kept me going back. And my masters, I say masters, but they're guides. My guides always told me in the physical or non that it would get better if I just kept doing it. It would get better, but it wasn't necessary to meditate for even 40 minutes. I think the longest that I've ever meditated is a little over 30 minutes. It didn't feel necessary. Nothing else happened. I've heard of other amazing guides, the beautiful experiences they've had in meditation. However, I do realize that that's just another experience. When I'm in my natural state of being, when I'm fully present, there is no experience. That's a paradox though, right? Because even though nothing's happening, I feel happier. What kind of happiness is it? It's like a really calm, clear, pristine joy. Yeah, Doozer, please don't wreck it. Even the emotions are feeling more balanced. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's I swear, unless a person has like a physical something literally wrong with their brain, even a person with traumatic, like our brains get formed at a very early age, of course, and if it's traumatic, our brains are, is it neuroplastic? I know it's neuroplasticity, but is it, I know I've said this before, Is it neuroplastic? I don't even know if I actually ever looked that up. Neuroplastic, is that the word? So anyway, so it's a proven fact that we can I know there's special wording for this. We can, Doozer, please, it really, I know it may not seem like a big deal to you, but if you have misophonia, yeah, it wasn't that bad really, but it's still disruptive to my energy field. He does get to bark, for those of you that feel bad for my dog. He does get to bark. Okay, so what were we saying? Yeah, they brought me all the way back to there. It's okay to be different. It's a really, really good thing, because that's what humanity needs, is different. A different way to see things. And I just feel so honored that I get to hold satsang with people, and that my purpose is to help people remember also, because I see how much that will benefit humanity. Because when people aren't living from their minds anymore, and we're living from our heart space, more of who we're truly intended to be, we make much different choices, and fear dissipates. Decisions aren't made from fear as much. People are more emotionally expressive. There are more and more men of humanity that are softening right now, and it's a very scary process, I'm sure, but it's for the highest good of humanity, and I know that you can do this. We're all doing it together. You're not doing it alone at all. We are all ascending, whether you realize it or not. You may have signs, and if you would like to talk about what those signs could possibly be, we would love to talk to you about that. They're saying it would basically be you just telling us about what shitstorms are going on in your life. Not that shitstorms are funny, but that's the divine to me, intercepting me, telling me I'm basically going in the wrong direction. And what the wrong direction often looks like, most often, is making decisions, having the wrong, they're showing me, having the wrong, pilot, the wrong driver, a driver that wants to take me somewhere that I don't want to go. Well, I'm the driver now. I'm the driver, not my mind. No, I see how much attention I give it, but that's because they're showing me a dragon. They're like, yeah, you'd have to give a dragon just as much attention, but not power. But by paying attention to it, it doesn't give it power. Right. At certain points, right, okay. So at certain points, of course, I have talked about my mind, thought about my mind, obsessed about my mind, and I was giving it more power. But now I can see it so clearly, and I always look off to the right because I don't see anything on my left. Please, if you experience the same thing, I would love to talk to you. Any empaths out there? I just heard an echo. No, I'm sure there are. I'm sure my soul tribe is coming in. Ancients, is there anything else we want to talk about? So earlier on in the video, when I felt like I had failed, I recognized that finally. When that happens, when it's just a part of who I am, and I just have to accept it once and for all. I only forgot a couple times in this video, and so sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I just have to accept it And so I accepted it better this time, I feel like, than I ever have. And I could also see it better. Um, if you notice that you can see thoughts coming in, um, I guess specifically on the right, I'd be really surprised if other people said that they actually see stuff coming on the right. The ancients are saying, well, that could be a thought though, couldn't it? Just the thought that, oh, I can see stuff on the left. I think I just said the right. Yeah, I can see things on the left, but not really being able to, but that's just a thought. That's how sneaky thoughts are. Yeah, really. But I'm more cunning, they're saying, than thoughts are sneaky. I drew a sacred geometry card, and then I think I'm going to go. I drew a sacred geometry card today. What was it, Ancients? Oh, it was really beautiful. I think it may be, no. I think I can pause this. If I can't, saltsongwithmamaG@gmail.com. Love you so much.